Good evening and welcome to Speaker News. Well, Melburnians have suffered another major blow with Premier Daniel Andrews extending the state's dreaded sixth lockdown. Live to Melton, where our reporter Natalie Anderson is standing by, and that there is a glimmer of hope for regional Victoria.
Yes, thank you very much, Darby. There is indeed a glimmer of hope and some light at the end of the tunnel for regional Victorians. According to Premier Daniel Andrews, regional Victorians can expect to be out of lockdown by next week. However, metropolitan Melbourne will remain under stay-at-home orders. However, the Premier has informed Victorians that this is not entirely a full open-up of regional Victoria, and in fact, many of the restrictions will still apply as the state continues its ultimate battle to curb this infectious virus. Chief Health Representative Professor Brett Sutton has said the regional Victoria was right on track. Restrictions still apply for metropolitan areas, and the statewide government want people to get tested if they register any symptoms of this virus, and if you can, it is recommended to get vaccinated. Thank you very much, Darby. Back to you in the studio.
Natalie Anderson, thank you. Well, Melbourne schools have been hit hard once again, with students told they will not be returning to the classroom until next term. It comes as COVID numbers skyrocket across Melbourne, with Year 12s given priority vaccinations. Edward Tremethick has the details.
School students suffering another blow as classrooms shut for the rest of Term 3.
Sadly, I have to confirm for all Victorians that there will be no return to face-to-face learning for Term 3. Next week, I will outline a detailed plan for what Term 4 will look like. I'm not in a position, given just how rapidly things are changing, I'm not in a position to be able to outline that at the moment, and indeed there is time. We have school holidays between some weeks of study and school holidays between now and the beginning of Term 4. We'll take a little bit more time, finalise the work that's already been done, and we'll have more to say about what Term 4 looks like for all of our students next week.
Cases soaring high in the hundreds as exposure sites grow by the hour. Worried businesses with no plans out of Melbourne's dreaded sixth lockdown. Edward Tremethick, Speaker News.
And now it's time we head to the crew for this week's edition of Think a Minute.
Just think a minute. It could change everything.
Think a minute. Are you bored? It's a sad life when we outlive our enthusiasm for it. That's why our biggest challenge is not to add years to our life, but life to our years. Then our heart and spirit won't grow gray before our hair does. Did you ever really want something, like a big promotion or new job and career, a good education, or a nice house? But then after you got it, it got old and just didn't give you the satisfaction you expected. So you're left still wanting something more. And you wonder, is this as good as it gets? Is this all I can really expect in life? A successful businessman said, I climbed all the way to the top and found out there's nothing there. Even after he achieved everything he wanted, he was still empty and unhappy. You know, when you're bored and unsatisfied, nothing in life is really worth your full energy and time. You've got no real purpose or passion for living. Well, guess what? You're normal. We humans were made for such a high level of living and productivity, it's easy for us to get bored. And no one knows it better than our Maker. That's why He gives us expectations and challenges to push us to reach our full potential. Animals can be satisfied just to eat, sleep, run around a little, and call that successful living. But we humans can't do that, since we were made for much more. This is why Jesus says the only way we can have a full, satisfying life is when we spend our time and talents loving Him and others. We were created to give and make a difference in the world with our own unique abilities and personality. And it's only logical that your Maker is the one who can show you how to fill your place in the world and what's worth your time and abilities. Something you know is making a difference in the lives of people around you. Do you love how you're living? Why not ask Jesus to take control of your life every day? He'll give you your real purpose and passion for living, so you'll never battle with boredom again. Just think a minute. If you'd like to know more, write to us on the internet at thinkaminute.com and join us next time we stop and think a minute. Think a Minute is brought to you by the Assemblies of God.
Good work, team. To the Skycam we go, and Adelaide is tomorrow expecting a cloudy day, getting to a top of 17, and similar conditions right here in Melbourne. That is the latest news from the Speaker Newsroom for this Sunday evening. For now, though, from the team, thanks so much for your company, and good night.